What's up, WrestleScope family? You know what absolutely grinds my gears? When WWE builds up a partnership that could literally reshape the entire landscape of Monday Night Raw, gets us invested in seeing two absolute monsters tear through the roster together, and then rips it apart before it even reaches its full potential. But that's exactly what happened this week, and I'm about to break down why Bronson Reed turning his back on Bron Breakker might be the most infuriating and brilliant move WWE has pulled all year. Let me ask you something, and I want you to drop your answer in the comments right now. When has WWE ever respected tag team chemistry? When has this company ever let two powerhouses actually dominate together without sabotaging it for some half-baked singles push? Because here's what really happened on Raw, and trust me, you're going to hate this. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker just delivered one of the most vicious, bone-crushing beatdowns we've seen in months. These two men looked like the second coming of the APA mixed with the raw brutality of Prime Lesnar. They were unstoppable. The crowd was electric. Social media was exploding. And what does WWE do? They have Reed walk away. Just walk away, leaving Breakker standing there like he just got ghosted after the best first date of his life. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another rant about WWE's booking, hold up. Because what if I told you this might actually be the smartest thing WWE Creative has done all year? What if this betrayal is actually setting up something we've been begging for? Drop a comment right now. Are you furious about this split, or do you see the bigger picture? Because by the end of this video, your entire perspective is about to shift. All right, let's rewind and break this down piece by piece, because the devil is in the details, and WWE just pulled off something most of you missed while you were busy rage tweeting. The attack that shook Raw. First, let's talk about what actually went down. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker didn't just attack someone, they sent a message written in pain and destruction. We're talking about two men who individually are already walking natural disasters, combining their powers like some twisted WWE version of the Infinity Stones. The impact was immediate. The crowd's reaction wasn't just shock, it was that primal, visceral response you get when you witness something truly brutal. Reed's tsunami splashes combined with Breakker's explosive power, that's not just an attack, that's a statement that the power dynamics on Raw just got completely rewritten. But here's where it gets interesting, and here's where WWE is either playing 4D chess or dropping the ball hard. The walkaway heard around the world. The moment Reed turned and walked away from Breakker, leaving him in that ring, social media erupted. And I mean erupted. Twitter was on fire, Reddit was having a meltdown, the YouTube comment sections looked like a war zone. Everyone's immediate reaction, WWE ruined another good thing. And you know what? I get it. I understand the frustration. We've seen this movie before. We've watched WWE build up incredible tag teams or partnerships, only to split them up before they reach their peak. The Revival, FTR before they left, American Alpha, the list goes on and on. But let me present you with an alternative theory that's going to blow your mind. What if this is actually genius? Stay with me here, because I'm about to explain why this might be the best booking decision WWE has made for both these superstars. Bronson Reed is a man who's been on an absolute tear lately. He's been booked as this unstoppable force of nature, and rightfully so. The man is massive, he's agile for his size, and he brings this aura of legitimate danger every time he steps through those ropes. But here's the problem with powerhouse partnerships. They eventually stagnate. They become predictable. And in WWE's landscape where fans are desperate for fresh matchups and compelling storylines, keeping Reed and Breakker together long-term could actually limit both their potentials. Think about it logically. If they stay together, who do they feud with? They steamroll through the tag division that's already hanging by a thread. And then what? They either split up anyway, or one becomes the sidekick to the other. By having Reed walk away now, WWE just created 3 massive storylines instead of 1. Number 1. Bronson Reed is the calculating, cold-hearted destroyer who uses people as stepping stones. This isn't your typical heel turn. This is a man making a business decision. He saw an opportunity, he capitalized, and moved on. That's ruthless. That's what makes a star. Number 2. Bron Breakker's hunt for revenge. And this isn't going to be some standard I'm angry storyline. This is personal. Reed didn't just betray him, he used him, manipulated him, and then discarded him like trash. Breakker's entire character is built on intensity and that family legacy of being a dog in that ring. This betrayal just gave him rocket fuel. Number 3, the inevitable collision course these two are now on. When Reed and Breakker finally collide one-on-one, it's not going to be just another match. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be personal. It's going to be the kind of brutal, hard-hitting encounter that fans will talk about for years. The bigger picture. But let's zoom out even further, because there's a bigger game being played here that most fans aren't seeing. WWE is in the middle of a complete roster revolution right now. With NXT call-ups, returning stars, and this new creative direction, they need to establish clear hierarchies and create compelling reasons for fans to invest in these characters long-term. A Reed versus Breakker feud doesn't just benefit these two men, it elevates the entire Raw main event scene. These are two future world champions we're talking about. By establishing this rivalry now, WWE is planting seeds for storylines that could carry them through WrestleMania season and beyond. And here's the kicker. This also protects both men from overexposure. If they stayed together and dominated for months, fans would eventually turn on them. It's the WWE cycle we've seen 1,000 times. But by splitting them now while the iron is hot, both men get to maintain their individual mystiques while building towards something bigger. What this means for Raw. The ripple effects of the split are going to be massive. For Bronson Reed, he's now positioned as a top heel who answers to no one. He's not part of a faction, he's not somebody's muscle. He's a lone wolf destroyer who takes what he wants and leaves carnage in his wake. That's money. For Bron Breakker, this is his defining character moment. This is what separates the good superstars from the great ones. How he responds to this betrayal, how he channels that rage and frustration, and ultimately how he gets his revenge, that's what's going to cement his legacy. And for the Raw roster, they just got put on notice. Because now instead of one unstoppable team to worry about, they've got two individual monsters who are going to be on a warpath, destroying everything in sight for completely different reasons. The historical context. Let's not forget, some of the greatest rivalries came from broken partnerships. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, The Shield's multiple splits and reunions, Batista and Triple H, Edge and Christian, the list goes on. These stories work because they tap into something real. They tap into that feeling of betrayal, of broken trust, of having to face someone who knows all your weaknesses because they fought beside you. Reed and Breakker just joined that lineage, and if WWE books this right, and that's a big if, I'll admit, we could be looking at a rivalry that defines both their careers. The fan reaction paradox. Here's what's fascinating about the fan reaction to this. The same fans who complain about WWE being predictable and never taking risks are the same fans who are upset that WWE broke up Reed and Breakker before we saw enough of them together. You can't have it both ways, folks. You can't demand unpredictability and then get mad when WWE actually does something unexpected. The fact that fans are this emotionally invested in what happened, whether they love it or hate it, proves that WWE did something right. They got you talking. They got you feeling something. And in today's content-saturated world, that's half the battle. So here's where we land, WrestleScope family. Is Bronson Reed ditching Bron Breakker after their Savage Raw attack frustrating? Absolutely. Does it feel like WWE might be pulling the trigger too early on what could have been a dominant team? Maybe. But could this actually be the smartest booking decision that sets up a legendary rivalry between two future main eventers while keeping both men's individual stock high? I think yes. Here's what I'm predicting, and you can hold me to this. Within the next 3 months, we're going to see Reed and Breakker in a match that's going to steal the show at whatever premium live event WWE gives them. And that match is going to be so brutal, so personal, and so intense that everyone's going to forget they were ever partners in the first place. Reed is going to establish himself as one of the most dangerous heels on Raw, racking up bodies and proving why he's a main event player. Breakker is going to have his breakout babyface run, channeling all that intensity and aggression into becoming the face of Monday Night Raw. And when they finally collide, it's going to be explosive. But I want to hear from you. Drop your comments below and let me know. Do you think WWE made the right call splitting Reed and Breakker this early, or should they have kept them together longer? Who do you think benefits more from this split, Reed or Breakker? And most importantly, when these two finally go one-on-one, who are you picking to win? The comment section is yours. Let's have a real conversation about this. If this video changed your perspective on what happened on Raw, or even if you completely disagree with everything I said, smash that like button because you know we keep it real on this channel. Subscribe to WrestleScope if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell because we're covering every twist and turn of this storyline as it develops. Trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next. Share this video with your wrestling friends who are still mad about the split. Let's get them to see the bigger picture. And before you go, check out the video on screen about the 5 biggest missed opportunities in WWE history, because context matters in this business. I'm out. Stay scoped in, wrestling family.